Good evening, Willing. We are continuing with the basics. Whatever is not so, soul is about simplicity. Mind likes complicated. When you say that something is intelligent on a mind level, that's something that is difficult to grasp. There are so many different elements to connect with each other. But for the heart, for the soul, for the self, or even better to say for the source will, universal will, simplicity is the key. So I prefer simplicity, even if there are more elements, more different elements in the same exercise. Every element in itself should be really, really simple. For the healing part of this evening session, I will speak a little bit and we will not try, but we will practice the healing of others. So last time we had the healing session where we asked Creator to harmonize our will with His will. And I explained there is no sex in Creator, it's a source of creation. Okay, however you imagine it. And we can do exactly the same thing for anyone else or anything else, either individual, group, collective, or on a universal level. And that's really simple. Creator, please harmonize will of, then you say the name of the person or the being or whatever with your will. Simple sentence. And that is not a formula. You can use different words. Bring in accord will of that person with your will or whatever. The main point is to respect difference yet not separateness between the Creator's will and individual will. So that's really simple. But in order for that healing method to work, there should be specific attitude behind it. And I want to share my understanding of that attitude, how this attitude should be. Of course, I can say how it works for me, how it always worked for me. And you can do the same thing, change it, or take some completely different approach. It's up to you. So for me, it's just to share, to inspire. It's not a recipe. Although you can take it as one, no problem. So many, many years ago, when I started on this path of being a healer and teacher, it simply came to me. I am a vehicle of happiness for everyone and everything. Whoever comes in contact with me, physical contact, in physical presence, at the distance, whoever even thinks about me, or just knows my name, that person will receive impulse of happiness. And that happiness will change that person's or form of life radically to be in accord, in harmony with divine will, with Creator's will. So, attitude is, I am a vehicle of happiness. I am focal point of presence of the source of life. You heard probably old wisdom. You have what you give. What you give, that you have. So in order to give something, you need to have it first. And in my approach, it's better to be that than to have that. Whatever you have, you can lose. But what you are cannot be lost. Okay? Really, really simple thing. The problem may be if you consider this statement, I am a vehicle of happiness. I am a well of happiness, as being egoistic, egocentric, arrogant, vain. But that's not true. This I am, you are that. And this I am is happiness, joy, love, light. That is the source of all the harmony and light in our lives, in anyone's life. This I am is one atom of source of creation. It's exactly the same in quality. Exactly the same in quality. It has all the qualities that source of creation has. But it is not the same in quantity, because I am one with source of creation. I am not the source of creation. I didn't create life. I haven't created life. But that principle, that source of creation that have created life, is present as myself in atomic form. So I carry all the qualities: happiness, health, well-being, joy, love, harmony, being some of them. So when you say, I am a vehicle of happiness, that's truth. It's not self-suggestion. You are that. But when you are present as a self within this body, within this container. So I'm not saying I am happiness. I'm saying I am vehicle of happiness. Meaning there should be some vehicle, some container, some instrument of communication between anyone in need for happiness and the source of happiness. So to be a channel, to be a bridge for it. That's why there should be presence of the self, of this I am feeling, in the body and mind. When that is the case, and that's the main thing we are practicing, a foundation of will system, then we can say, I am vehicle of happiness. Okay, so that is this attitude. What it means? It means the only thing you need to do is to become aware, to bring your attention, focal point of attention and presence to some person or group or any form of life that is in need for happiness. Wherever there is any kind of disharmony, and you become aware of this disharmony, instantly there is a series of impulses of living light, intelligent living light, coming from you and harmonizing this form of life, person or group or whatever. And that's the healing in itself. So just by your very presence, you bring harmony to anyone in contact with you. It's so powerful, trust me. To my experience, when you are really into it, meaning that there is no any counter thought, any suspicion, any insecurity about this simple fact of life, that you are a vehicle of happiness, miracles are happening just by your own presence for anyone in contact with you. That's passive, static way of healing, by presence. And then there is active, which I promote, of course, because this is path of will, so path of action. And that is when you ask the source of creation, source of life, creator, to harmonize will of that person you want to help, you want to heal, with his, her, hers, its will. That's active way. After you say it, you simply stay a minute in inner silence and observe the process. It's like you are giving a blessing to that form of life. Does it make sense? Do you have any question or comment? Is it clear? Do you have any problem with it? Excellent. Excellent. Yes, Barty.
So we're just presuming that the other person's will is agreeing to what you are saying, to what you are giving?
Look, very good question. Very good question. Everything created having free will. Okay, let's speak about humans. We are given this gift of free will. So when you ask harmony between some person's will and creator's will, you are asking freedom of will for that person. So you are not forcing anything to that person, on that person. And that person always has this freedom not to be free, to continue to live in conditioned state. but with your action, with your will, you're creating a potential for that person that it's easier to exercise freedom of will. Okay? Does it make sense? Excellent. Excellent. Very good question. We should always be careful not to breach freedom of choice or freedom of will of anyone. Yeah. Dominic, you have a question. Maybe you have raised your raised hand by chance. Okay. So let's do the healing session now. Choose a person, one person you want to help. And you see, okay, let me just elaborate briefly this. Source of all our problems, issues, health issues, relationship issues, financial issues, all issues, is that we are not in harmony. Our will is not in harmony with the source will. That's universal problem. Whether you are disrupting this harmony with negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative words, disharmonious words, or actions, habits, beliefs, whatever it may be. That's simply a manifestation of the disharmony of your will with source will, or with life, you would say. Yeah? So that's why that's like a universal healing method. Simply to harmonize will of the person you want to heal. I'm using this word heal in broader sense. It may be a relationship, it may be career, maybe anything. Small or big. Okay? Let's do it. Sit comfortably, relax. Bring your attention to your breathing. You breathe with your diaphragm. With the inhalation, stomach is going up. With the exhalation, stomach is going down. Natural pace as it goes, fast, slow, however it may be. As you breathe, feel all of your body, top of the head, spine, hands, feet, whole body. Simply feel it. Repeat mentally after me. I am a vehicle of happiness. Feel into these words. You are focal point of happiness in this world. Whatever comes into contact with you receives this living light. That you are shining as a living star in all directions. Your I am feeling in the center of the chest is a core of a star, living star. And this emness, presence, being is a light you emanate in all directions. Warmth of this light is feeling of happiness. I am vehicle of happiness. Repeat mentally after me. Creator, please harmonize will of that person. Say the name of the person. With your will. repeat mentally after me? Thank you. And thank you. What is interesting, what I have noticed, that I am a vehicle of happiness even when I'm not happy. You can be in any state of mind and still this attitude is true and it gives its effect. So don't judge yourself like, I'm not so centered and balanced now, how can I be a vehicle of happiness for anyone? Amazingly enough, even when I was in some phases of acute suffering, strong tension, stress, distress, still I was bringing happiness to anyone around me. Because any suffering, any distress, however we feel it may be deep, it is actually on the surface. In reality, you are that I am feeling, that source of life manifested in its atomized form as your inner self. And that's your essence. You are always that. You are not always aligned with it, but that doesn't prevent this inner self to shine out. Even when there are clouds, sun is still shining. You may not see it, but sun is shining all the time, during the night as well. And that's the nature of the mind, continuous changing. So simply hold this attitude in your heart as a fundamental belief, and you will be a vehicle of healing for anyone or anything wherever you direct your attention. Yet, it is more profound, faster, more subtle. This process of healing, if you are aligned with your inner self. And you are that. So there is no process or issue there. The process is in becoming aware that you are that. And that's also natural. Being aware of your own self. You know that you are. That simple notion behind any thought, behind any emotion, behind any perception of body sensation or external situation, external sensual impressions, whatever it may be, sound, sight, whatever. So it's always there. There is a perceiver. And you know it without a need to become aware of it, because you are that. Still, mind can play tricks. Different ideas created mirage, like fantasy world, psychological fantasy world, or psychodrama. I call it mental theater, where you assign roles, write a script, and direct this drama. That can misalign our awareness, our attention with what we truly are. That's inner self. And basic way how mind does it is through speaking with itself. There is inner dialogue, mental dialogue. And today's induction session is dedicated to taming the mind, stopping this inner dialogue. And it's really, really simple, and it always works with everyone in all situations, just when you have proper understanding. So I will elaborate it a bit. Thinking is not a dialogue. When you think about something, you want to think through something, some topic. That's not a dialogue, that's a monologue. One simple train of thoughts. When there is inner dialogue, there is one part of mind speaking with the other part of mind. That's where mental theater starts. Who is speaking with whom? We all have this experience of inner dialogue. We speak with ourselves inside our minds. Who is speaking with whom? There is no two of me. There is only one me, one self. So it can only be monologue. It cannot be dialogue. That's split personality syndrome. In some extreme cases, multiple personality syndrome. So you can say left brain hemisphere is speaking with the right brain hemisphere. Or one brain center is communicating with the other brain center. Basically what they are exchanging informations. And this communication or exchanging of information we perceive as a dialogue. And we join in. Like someone insults us. We had a contact with a person full of negative energy. And that person was unpleasant towards us. And you continue to speak with that person in your mind, although that's in the past. It may be a minute ago or a decade ago. For the mind is the same. And actually you are speaking the words you haven't spoken when this insult happened. That's inner dialogue. So you have assigned a role of that person being a part of your mind, some brain center, for example. And now you want to correct this frequency, to harmonize it, to balance it. Or it can be a pleasant experience. It's the same. But always when there is dialogue, there is a split in consciousness. And when there is a split in consciousness, there is a friction, tension, eventually stress, and conflict, inner conflict. That state of mind is taking us outside of harmony, in a state of disalignment. We are not aligned with our true nature anymore. We simply forget it. You are not stopping being what you are, but you are forgetting what you are. So, when mind is in a state of monologue, there is a peace and calmness, state of inner tranquility. And you think it's not thoughtless state. There is a thought, but it's creative thought. It's harmonious thought. And when you are in a state of inner silence, mental silence, induction of living light happens. Instantly. When you are just present, not thinking anything, there is a moment, in that moment, there is a surge of living light that is allowed now to expand through yourself and fill your mind and body. So you see, when there is mental monologue, there is always this space between two thoughts where there is silence. So that's the natural state. You can have continuous mental monologue, continually to think creatively. Still there is a process of induction of intelligent light, living light, because there is always a moment when you listen, when you wait for the next thought to come. Periods of silence between two thoughts. This induction method, which I will share with you and we will practice it this evening, consists of listening of your thoughts. And it's a really simple trick. If you listen to your thoughts, you don't have time to speak with it. So how do you stop dialogue? You shut up and listen. Really simple. If you are not speaking, then there is only mental process going on itself, on its own. And that's a monologue. And that monologue, if it is not willing, if it is not conscious, it will stop and you will enter the state of mental silence. In this mental silence, you can start to think about anything you choose. You want to find solution for some task, some problem you want to solve. You want to plan something, you want to analyze something, whatever is normal mental functioning. You want to grasp and comprehend some abstract ideas, but always with this mental silence as a background. So the trick is to treat thoughts as inner voice. And it is inner voice. Someone is speaking inside of your mind or something, or there is a voice. So you just listen to it in the same way as you listen to my voice now. You don't need special preparation for it. Simply bring attention. Let's do it. Just bring attention, I would say, between your ears. Like your ears are pointing inwards. And observe thought that is happening right now. Thought in the sense of inner voice. No forcing to create a thought or suppressing thought, whatever comes, just listen to it. The key word is listen. Not become aware, but listen as inner voice. If there is no thoughts, listen to the silence. You can experience how this inner monologue is not breaking the silence. There is calmness and tranquility of the mind. As you listen, this inner voice, bring your attention to the center of the chest. Just feel this I am feeling, your own self. That self is a listener, one who listens in a voice. Simple notion that you exist, you are. your own being. Feel it in your chest. And listen in a voice in your head or silence. In a relaxed way, no tension, no forcing. You don't need any effort to be what you are, and you don't need any effort to listen. As living light is induced in your body and mind, you can observe different sensations in the body, different experiences, expansion of this feeling of I am, your own being, throughout the body, beyond the body. Just leave it to be as it is. And continue to listen as this inner being in yourself whatever comes to your mind. Relax in this inner silence and tranquility. Breathe normally. Thank you. Where is your inner dialogue now? See how beautiful, soft, subtle silence and natural awareness, no effort. Let me hear you. Anyone would like to share? First of all, I'm interested, what is the state of your mind now? Yes, Katrina, please.
Thank you. I feel very calm, tranquil, just so, I feel like a blob of water. That's not very poetic, sorry. I feel like a drop of water, just so alive, but wonderfully calm.
Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Yeah. This is a deep state of meditation. We achieved in 5 minutes. And it is so simple. Just listen to your thoughts and then listen to the silence that comes after them. That's it. But listen as this inner self. That's the key. Anyone else would like to share, please? Yes, Bhakti.
I think I'm too much at peace to actually find words for it. It's just, yeah.
You're speaking for everyone else, I would say.
I feel disturbing the peace if I start to speak.
Yes, yes. That's why I'm asking you to speak and also to think, to see that you cannot disturb this peace. No chance. So before you want to work on something or prepare, how you prepare for any conscious thinking is first of all to listen to your thoughts, to stop in a dialogue, to go into this state of mental silence, and then think. And the silence will stay there. It's not conditioned by the thought, because thought is monologue. It's simply undercurrent movement of the water within the ocean. But the ocean stays calm. But if it is a dialogue, if you start to speak with your thoughts, to speak with yourself, that's disturbance. That creates tension and restlessness, and you are misaligned. Okay? Anyone else would like to dare to break the silence? Yes, Leila, please.
Well, first I would like to thank you for inviting us to this experience, because it felt like for a brief moment it was like a taste of eternity, and I was physically pretty exhausted when I started, and now I feel awake.
Now you feel, I haven't heard the last word.
Awake.
Awake. Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leila. Yes, you can say a lot about this state. It's beyond time and space. It's omnipresent and this or that. But these are just it's another train of thoughts describing experience. But simple thing is it's peace. Silence. Yes. Okay. Thank you for it. So, when you are in agitated state of mind, when you are in some kind of inner drama, not just thoughts, emotions as well, whatever it may be. You feel pain in the body, for example. Bad example, but what to do? I'm speaking about suffering, physical, emotional, mental suffering, social suffering, yeah? So when you recognize that you are actually speaking with yourself, just stop it. Start by listening. You simply listen. You complain because you feel some pain or weakness in some part of the body, or you feel emotionally disbalanced, imbalanced, or you are criticizing someone or something, speaking with some person or some situation, complaining, or whatever form negative thought may take. When you notice that you are not aligned, simply start to listen. First you listen, and then bring your attention to this I am feeling, and start listening as inner self. That's the listener who listens. And you will see, amidst the most intensive turmoil, you will quickly come to peace, come to calmness and tranquility. And then you can think rationally, constructively, proactively. That's the key I wanted to share with you this evening. Thank you so much for your kind silent presence and also for sharing your experiences. It means a lot to me and others in the group, and see you in 11 days. Stay well.